This is Southline Media. Mr. Chinedu Michael, let us look at this issue that have come to the front burner, talking about the governor of Eboyin State, reportedly approving 500 million for those going for Haij for 2025. And this happened at the time when the state, or his state rather, is contending with excess of headers. Don't forget that Fulani herdsmen were allegedly reported to have disallowed about 16 persons in that state. What do you make of this state government, Eboyin state government support for Haij?
If you look at the geographical location of that state and look at the process that led to the emergence of Wiru as the governor of Eboyin State, and look at what the APC is trying to achieve, and look at the whole thing, the structure from that national level, looking at that man called David Umahi, you know actually where the whole thing is going. I remember during the tenure of David Umahi, there was so much speculation and evidence of aligning with Islamic tendencies in terms of going to Islamic bank, engaging themselves with some Arab nations, bringing some manner of Islamic structures in that in Eboyin State, and the proxiness of Eboyin and of course the entire north is also a factor, you know. So if you look at it very well, we are having come from one of the largest polygamous family, deem it fit not to empower his own people, but to send. And come and ask yourself, how many Christians has this man you are looking at today sent to pilgrimage in Jerusalem?
Are you against the Haij?
It means 100% against it. Why? What is the excess of it? We have over 10, 15, 20 million people thereabout in. Most of them are living in abject poverty.
What do you want to do, my brothers?
You understand? The essence of doing that, I would explain to you that whatever foundation Umahi and Wiru is laying in that state will become a thing of will be fruitless and will become a thing of the past. These are the signs, these are the things that encourages Fulanization, Fulani herdsmen invasion, Boko Haram in that state. Because when you are trying to bring such ideology, embrace such policy, embrace such program, it is a clear invitation of invasion of Sharia, Boko Haram, Fulani herdsmen, the Lakawura, ISIS in one state. So these people are not always very careful on how they engage themselves in certain policies. David Umahi knew the reason why that Wiru was installed. And the people of Eboyin State are not comfortable with his leadership. I can tell you. So he is not acting to protect democracy in Eboyin State. He is acting to protect the Fulanized democracy of the species of Umahi, Buhari, and the rest of them, who has already started mounting presence in Eboyin State. That is the picture. If you like, let him go and import them and export them to Mecca. How can you be doing those kind of art, knowing fully well that these people comes in from different borders within Eboyin State and begin to, you know, destroy lives and property without any form of provocation? And you are still carrying them, sending them to Mecca. ISIS is a conqueror. I can tell you that. He will face ICC, he will face International Criminal Court for be allowing, supporting by omission or by commission the killings of Eboyin citizens by Fulani herdsmen.
There is no record that he supported it, because we understand that he admonished the people not to go for a reprisal attack, and of course that is expected of any leader.
Let me ask you, how many people have you had in that Eboyin State that this man has gathered and sent them to Jerusalem? Or we hear there's a scholarship somewhere. You budgeted the whooping sum of 500 million and you gather terrorists. I say you're sending. America will not even be happy to receive such people. They tell you. Because people that go to Mecca in line.
These are people
in line
quick to go for Hajj. And understand that even in Eboyin State there could be some indigenous of Eboyin State who are Muslims who could benefit from that.
I can tell you in honest truth, there is no citizen of Eboyin State that is a Muslim.
Is this something that on good authority?
I was there, mandate. Go on, anybody that's watching this video, go and find out the role mandate played and what mandate is still doing. I was a member, I supported, I worked for mandate under Umahi. First time Umahi. And Umahi, the way I see him as at that time, having believing that he is one of the pastors, he's a pastor, he came from, he was pastoring a church in Crescent Bassey, and thereafter he walked toward that direction and suddenly was able to, get to that level of becoming the governor of that state. He knew what mandate did for him.
Okay, now, Mr. Nnamdi Kanu, let me drag you into what transpired in Abuja yesterday in court. We saw the Nnamdi Kanu's outburst accusing Nigerian judicial system of having poor knowledge of the law. Of course, the whole world is forgotten. These are forgotten the word talking. What do you make of that?
It got all the ethnic nationalities in Nigeria talking. It got all the major ethnic lords in Nigeria celebrating bravery, celebrating blistering presence, appearance of the IPOB leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. What Mazi Nnamdi Kanu did today is a source of encouragement to anybody, anywhere in the world. And that reminds us of the days of Gade Fayemi, in those days where we see people stand still and confront the enemy at the time. See, they want to destroy the Igbo man, they want to destroy the Igbo nation, they want to subdue and suppress the Igbo people. But just one person, the whole federal government cannot be able to resist Nnamdi Kanu's bravery. Nnamdi Kanu is not acting based on that. Nnamdi Kanu is acting based on what their own constitution says. Now, the same Binta Nyako, who is his father, his husband and son, is facing criminal charges in court. Looted Nigerian resources. The same Binta Nyako that said discharged and acquitted, even at the Supreme Court level, is coming back and showing interest in a matter of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. What does that tell you? Knowing fully well that Nnamdi Kanu cannot be tried in that court because ab initio, he was illegally adopted and renditioned from Kenya. So it becomes very clear that this is a clear act of illegality. And you can see the resistance celebrated all over the world, including the Yorubas and the Middle Belters. They were celebrating Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. In fact, Nnamdi Kanu has become a reference point in the entire African universe currently now because of his resilience to seek justice and truth. There was outright calm. Asuwok was in shock. Eastern governors are on the run. I can tell you in honest truth that there's already an emergency meeting. All of a sudden, Purpose Adema become the president or the chairman of APC Eastern Governors Forum. That's the business. But I can tell you, if there's a plan for them to keep Mazi Nnamdi Kanu out of circulation and kill him, all the governors of the Eastern region will know that every morning, when we wake up in the morning, we are coming direct to their house, their siblings, their village, everywhere, wherever they come from, for them to provide Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Because it looks like they do not know what Nnamdi Kanu. Everybody must not be king. The God of heaven and earth has already bestowed it on Nnamdi Kanu to become the leader of over 80 million Igbos around the world and Biafrans along the world. There's nothing anybody can do about it. And he has successfully, God enjoyed the admiration of the Yoruba people, of the Middle Belt,
how do you
of the Christian North.
How do you think Nnamdi Kanu now endeared himself into the heart of the Yorubas?
No, it was resistance, consistency, faithfulness, bravery, fight, war, courage, responsibility, resilience, character, power, fearlessness. It did not start today. Over the years, it has gotten to the point that, everybody calls IPOB leader Tuwale. God bless you. Everybody, yesterday, IPOB leader Tuwale. Even the enemies.
So they have domesticated Tuwale in IPOB hierarchy.
No. I'm just telling you. An expression of, what even their enemies could not believe that the kind of resilient spirit Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And they forgot that he said Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, they are seeing, studied international relations and understand some bit of anything that has to do with international law and law itself. Imagine him taking his documents, his papers, and standing against injustice. Completely running down the judicial system in Nigeria.
Now, briefly talk to us, before I let you go, briefly talk to us about what is coming from a Twitter handle. Of course, the Twitter handle is Arewa Twitter, saying that Nnamdi Kanu needed to be disallowed, sentenced to death, and executed by hanging. And he have gotten so many bashes from women Nigerians globally.
Yes, let them kill George W. Bush. They would have killed George W. Bush. They would have also killed Abofemi Awolowo. They would have also killed Azikiwe. They would have also killed Tafawa Balewa. They would have also killed Ngugi. They would have also killed Muhammad Gandhi. They would have also killed Nelson Mandela. And thousands of them are all over the world. They would also kill them. Stephen Biko. They would have marketed them. Let me tell you, it is the same thing. That's why Nigeria cannot be one. It is unfortunate that the Southwest are realizing at this point that there's no need of one Nigeria. So it is a regional war that is breeding in Nigeria. If they are having such perception that a man that has the constitution has granted freedom and is seeking for that freedom, and you come and say that he needs to be killed. Federal government would have killed Awolowo now for saying, I think they charged him for treason. I think he was charged for treason. George Bush, Washington of America was charged for treason. Most of them were charged for treason, but today they are celebrating their countries. What you see that is happening there is going to result to something that Nigeria will come to the point that there will not be any form of existence anytime, any day. The name Nigeria will be wiped out completely from the face of the earth. Bola Ahmed Tinubu is not joking at this point in time, because what I'm going to see that's going to happen is going to use very long hammer this time around. You can see how he managed to appoint DSS director now from the Middle Belt. The North should be careful, because it is not funny. If they are seeing it from that direction, the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, but by Bola Ahmed Tinubu will severe the MOU they had in the past. I can tell you, Bola Ahmed Tinubu can decide anything, any day, anytime.
Now, the last question has to do with current emerging power bloc in Nigeria. I'm talking about Middle Belt. You understand that they have gotten so much favor from this government. From the section of this government, George Akume became the secretary of the federal government, and we have seen Tinubu signing into law North Central Development Commission. Currently, I think the Director General of DSS have now is now being picked from that region, and the North, particularly the Northwest and Northeast, are afraid that if there is not taken, North Central is taken over from them.
It is trying to create a competing political ambition ahead of 2027. Tinubu is beginning to master the direction he wants to achieve his re-election. And you know that Middle Belt is a factor. And of course, if he is able to coordinate it very well, it means that he wants to break finally Middle Belt from the monopoly of the North. And the only way you need to do that is to empower them. Politically, and by
financially.
Of course, there's no how you will not go when you talk about political empowerment. Of course, it goes with all manner of financial empowerment and all that. So that is what is calculating, and given the fact that there's a mountain collabo or coalition of opposition parties that will be unveiled on June of this year. Tinubu need to sit properly now, and if you can be able to get Middle Belt and some fractions of vote from the Northeast and Northwest, I think maybe possibly he is good to go, and that's what he's trying to do. And another strategy which he's trying to adopt is to make sure that the Fulanis the middle belt are not completely run down by rampaging Fulani politically and otherwise.
And there is something that one of the Khan chairmen from the north said, that the Christians in the north are now better protected under Tinubu than under Buhari.
You cannot say that is not correct, because if you are saying that, what is the mechanism of that judgment? What is the mechanism?
Because
the mechanism of that adventure. Bro, when they see those kind of praise and worship that has political undertone, we need to understand it. Are we seeing an enduring structure that can protect Christians in the entire north by this administration, or just a matter of temporary something? That's the question.
But again, Mr. Chinedu, Michael, before I let you go, let me bring something to your knowledge. Because the Middle Belt have said, we stop the incursion of Usman and Fodo from getting to the southern part of the country, that if not for their father's efforts, that perhaps Usman and Fodo would have gotten influence in the south, east, south.
No, there's no how it will go, because the person that killed Usman and Fodo is an Igbo man.
From where? Which state?
The person that killed Usman and Fodo is an Igbo man. Go and check the history. I don't need to tell you. You don't need to ask me which state. Find out who that Igbo man is. So there's no how they can invent anything that has to do with. What I'm asking you is that, how did the Southwesterners themselves become Muslims? You need to find out yourself. How did they become Muslims? Was Usman the Fodio, did he step his foot in Southwest? That's the fact. But you can see the introduction of Sharia
through negotiation.
I don't want to go into that, you understand? Whatever it is, but what I'm telling you, the Igala, the attack of Igala is one of the progenitors of Uri.
That Igala is still Middle Belt.
Right, let me tell you, if you go in the 1809 map, you will discover that Igala was part of the old East Central states. Kogi, here the map is there. Why is Lokoja? Lokoja, is it not Kogi? I'm asking now, what is Lokoja? Go to the map, 14th, 13th century map. Go and look at it very well. You see it there. The Bight of Biafra, the old Eastern Central states, province, they use province. It's sort of, remember my word, go and do your findings. It was called province before they begin to, the Yorubas, the British system and the Northerners begin to manipulate the process to what it is today. Go and find out how many states, the region, the map of the old East province. You see that Igala was one of the sons of Eri.
That said, but the point is, under Nigerian current political arrangements, Middle Belt is saying, since Igala is a Middle Belt, our forefathers stopped the incursion of Usman and Fodo.
Yes, because it's in line with, it's time to tell you currently now, based on what they have now, what the structure is talking about now. But there's nothing like history. If it is based on that, they are Middle Belt or whatever they call themselves, and so be it. Of course, there's no, I can't say what he's saying is not correct. It's correct. It's still telling you that it was the Eboyin people that stopped the Islamization, the advancement of Usman Fodo. In that regard, and I can tell you, with every sense of reasoning and evidence, that the attack of Igala was an Igbo.
Of course, that is your brother.
It's my brother.
Your brother in another land. Mr. I think I must say very thank you. This is an emerging conversation. We hope to have you next time. But meanwhile, this is a good place to let you go.
Thank you.
Please
Thank you. And President, before I leave this platform, subscribe and watch this platform on daily basis. But what I want to say is that at any point, Nnamdi Kanu is being moved out of circulation finally, and anything happens to him, whether it is federal government plan or not, I say they are suspending a matter that have already been judged indefinitely. The Eastern governors will be held responsible.
Thank you very much for your time.